Hello guys, welcome to another episode of On the Bench. If you don't know what this is, it's where I just go over some of my current projects and ideas that are in my head for my RC trucks. This will be the main type of video on this channel, just because I don't have the facilities to go out and use my trucks as frequently as I would like to, but I have a lot of resource to design these trucks, so that's what I'm doing. So yeah, let's start with this idea. So the idea for this truck was to make a James Bond Spectre pickup, homemade, and it was before I knew that you could get different kits before they released, and I just tried to make it on the cheap using bits that I already had. This one came from Killer Body D90, so the 3-door Land Rover, and I cut that one up, crafted this out of styrene and bonded it together, and that served me well. This truck's very robust, but I would like to use the chassis for something else. Underneath, it's a fairly basic Trx4 chassis. It's got a 2-speed transmission, but it hasn't got the locking diffs, and that is a pretty good platform for a robust rig, because there's less to go wrong, but you've got the speed when you want it, and it would be a good trail running truck, which is why I would like to extend the wheelbase out to the length of the Axial Gladiator. So that's another truck that I have. Uses this chassis. This is the Axial Gladiator chassis extended out to the correct wheelbase for this Land Rover 130. But I want to keep using the Jeep body because I like it. It's very scale, and I like Jeeps as well as Land Rovers. But I haven't got any in the fleet at the moment, just Land Rovers and this Bronco. So yeah, what that will entail is underneath I have to make a piece that brings all of these links back. So right now the truck's at 324 millimeters, which is a standard Defender wheelbase, and I'll be bringing it out to 353 millimeters. So I'll have to make an extender that locks into this skid plate and just shifts all these links back, and then I'll have to decide what I want to do with this drive shaft. But yeah, I'll be basically making Axial SX103 Gladiator body, but on a Trx4 chassis, which I haven't seen done many times before, and I'm going to try and do it as integrated as possible. I'm going to try and use these wheel arches, because these are from the SX103 Glad, and they've got quite a long base here, so I'll be able to move it as far back as I need to, so I can still have internal wheel arches, but for an extended chassis. So yes, I'll have to figure out how to incorporate this and make it look good at the same time, because this is not a Trx4 part. But yeah, I don't think I'll have any problems with extending the wheelbase, as long as I keep the geometry consistent. The one thing is these chassis frame rails are 448 millimeters, and the Axial Gladiator, it comes out to about here, a little bit further. So I'll make a huge plastic part that's very rigid and give me the clipless body mounting system, a place to mount my bumper and everything, and I might reinforce it with a bit of metal if I can find any. But yeah, I'll be having a very long Trx4, and then potential for that project is to bring it even further to 385 millimeters wheelbase, which is what the 130 is on the Axial chassis. But that's quite a long way down the road, and that will probably entail having to get longer frame rails, maybe from the High Trail, which are 480 mil, or use the Trx6 frame rails. And I probably have to have an intermediate drive shaft around about here, with a little bearing just so I can bring the drivetrain all the way back, so you haven't got a really long drive shaft and long links, which would be bad for triangulation and performance. So if you can keep it as flat as possible in the center, it just means it can slide over things better, and you have better suspension travel and feel of the truck. It won't want to flip itself over, which will be good. But yeah, that's that. And then the body from this truck, I want to keep, because it's a cool looking body. A little bit of nostalgia for a styrene scratch build project, and what better way than to give it a new lease of life, but on a 313mm chassis. I have a fair few bodies for a 313mm chassis. I've got this Bronco, and I've also got Trx4 Sport body with the cage on the back. It would just be fun to have a high performing truck, because this has got all the nice electronics in it, but loads of body options, and one of those body options can be a custom Land Rover. So yeah, that would probably mean that I'll be chopping up this section of the body, putting in a new one with the wheelbase moved, and at the same time I might as well drop down the bed and make it as integrated as possible underneath. Unsure what I would like to do here. I definitely have to keep this front section going, but it could all be custom from here on back. I will do some sketching and see what looks good. But yeah, this truck needs to live on, so I'm going to keep it alive. There's also one more thing I would like to show you. Ta-da! This thing doesn't even feel, it feels a frame. It's too big. I'll get a new camera angle of this. There we go. Wide angle from above. This box is awesome. It's got buckles. It's made of cardboard and wood with some straps. Yeah, it's just stapled together, but it's pretty awesome as a carrying case for RC cars, with a length of about 600mm, which is the same length as a 1/10 scale Land Rover. I have a few of those, so it works well. Here it is inside. Had to take the winch off because that didn't fit, but yeah, take the wheels off and this thing fits perfect. You can put your remote here. It's got this bit of foam, and yeah, that's how I transport my Land Rover pickup. It's a pretty nifty way of doing it, pretty inexpensive as well. If you can source very thick cardboard and a little bit of wood, you can make these, because its hinge mechanism is just the flexibility of the cardboard, and that won't wear out very quickly. And yeah, you can just make these handles out of a bit of paracord if you know how to do that, which I may show in the future. But yeah, I might make more of these and just have custom transport for my trucks, because why not? It would be pretty inexpensive way of storing your RCs without having them on show, if you haven't got anywhere to put them on show. But yeah, thanks for watching. It's probably been a quick little episode. There we are. I'll head into CAD, make the piece to extend the wheelbase for that Trx4, and then I'll show you that in a separate video, a little update video on converting the Trx4 to the Axial Gladiator body. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys, bye.